All right, so I've had this little idea bouncing around in my head for about a day or two now, and I'm just gonna share it with you guys, just kind of thinking out loud here. I'm still developing this in my head. This ain't the final say on any of this or anything, but man, I was thinking about how we talk to ourselves, how we talk about things we do or don't do. And I'm going to bring this around here in just a minute. You're probably super confused right now, but I'm going to bring it around here. It's all going to make sense, so bear with me. Is that a Geotron? No, that's not. No, that's a Suzuki Samurai. Dang, I love those. Anyway, ADD moment done for now. Stealing, theft, robbery, muggings, and whatnot. It's not in my nature. It's nothing that to my knowledge, I've never done it, as far as I can remember. And I don't really, it's not really something that I struggle with or anything. I just don't do it. It's just not something that I do. I don't talk about how I haven't stolen in 23 years or anything like that, though. I don't say, yeah, I've gone 23 years without mugging anybody. It's true. I haven't. And that's a good thing, right? It's good to not mug people, and presumably the longer you go without mugging people, then the less people you have mugged. And so yeah, that's great. It's great that I haven't mugged anybody. But why would I say that? Why would I say I've gone any certain length of time without mugging anybody if I just don't do it? Why not just say I don't mug people? That makes a lot more sense if who I am as a person is just somebody who doesn't mug people. If my very identity is somebody who doesn't steal. And I thought about how we don't really take that approach with pornography. How we talk about streaks and stuff. And there is a place for talking about streaks. When you're in your accountability group, when you're with your accountability partner, it's useful to have some kind of objective measure that says for sure what you have or have not been doing. That much is true. However, when you're talking to yourself, when you have your own internal monologue in your head going on, when you're thinking about yourself, do you think of yourself as somebody who hasn't watched porn in 2 weeks? Or somebody who's gone a month without porn? Or somebody who's gone 6 months without porn? Or however long it is? Because the way it works in my head anyway, the way I see it, when you say I've gone X length of time without XYZ, in this case pornography, what you're basically implying is that this is something that I do, I just haven't done it for this amount of time. And maybe that's not what you mean to imply. Maybe that's not even how it consciously registers in your head. Maybe it's completely subconscious, or maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm still thinking this stuff out, but I think I'm onto something here. And I think that if you really, truly, sincerely are committed to quitting this for good, because that is what it's about. This isn't about quitting porn for 30 days or 90 days to get that, generic NoFap reboot or whatever. This isn't about quitting porn for a year to just kind of reset your sexual tastes or anything like that. This is about getting pornography out of your life for good, if you're on anything close to the same page as me anyway. And if that's where you're at, if that's your goal, if that's what you're committed to, then language like, I've gone 2 weeks without watching porn, doesn't really, it's not really the best language to use for that. Now you might say instead, I quit porn 2 weeks ago, or I quit porn 2 months ago, or however long ago it was. That's better. But even better than that is to yourself, identify yourself in a way that is completely separate from watching pornography. So for me, for example, one way that I do this commonly is I tell myself that I'm a man of God. I take that responsibility onto myself. It's not so much an acknowledgement of the way I've behaved up to now. Instead, it's an assumption of that kind of responsibility. And it's identifying myself with I don't want to say a position or a title, but we'll say it because I can't think of any better word right now. A position or a title that is inherently contradictory to the action of watching pornography. There's no room for both of those to exist in the same place. They don't mesh with one another. They contradict one another. And so when I talk to myself like that, what I'm doing is I'm assigning myself an identity that is contrary to that action. Just like my natural identity is as somebody who doesn't steal. Somebody who, I mean, I could list other stuff too, but I won't. The point is, and this might seem inconsequential. You might think that this doesn't matter. It's just words, right? I think it does matter. And I would have agreed with that for most of my life. That it's just words, it doesn't matter. But more and more I come to find that how you think, how you talk, has significant effects on your subconscious. Even if consciously you reject the idea that pornography is something that I do and I just went however long without it. Even if you consciously reject that idea, your subconscious can grab hold of that. And that can make it more difficult for you to quit in the future or to stay off of pornography in the future. There's a lot of layers to this. It's like an onion. There are so many layers to this, not only in your conscious mind, but in your subconscious mind. And anything you can do to make that battle easier is going to be good. I mean, who doesn't want to make the battle easier? That sounds, I mean, to an extent, that sounds like a good idea to me. And besides, it's kind of a matter of growth too, I think. It's a matter of growing out of that mindset that you've lived in for so long, that, this is just something I do. This is something I'm wrapped up in. This is something that I'm enslaved to, is watching pornography, this addiction. Now, even if you're still really, really struggling with it, and that's expected, I still am severely, severely tempted. It is a serious fight. I wonder if he thought I was racing him. That happens sometimes. My muffler is not present on my car, and sometimes people think that I'm racing them when I'm not. But anyway, the point is, get away from this identity, whether it's conscious or subconscious, that watching pornography is something you do, that it's a part of your nature, and start reinforcing the mindsets and identities that are contradictory to that have nothing to do with pornography, that are just totally not even there. Don't define yourself by how long you've managed to abstain from watching. Identify yourself in, I don't know, more positive terms, more forward-moving terms, however you want to put it, but identifying yourself by what you are, not what you aren't. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, there's my thinking out loud there. Hopefully that's useful to somebody. Hopefully I'm more or less right about all that kind of stuff. That's just been what's on my mind lately. So, tell me what you think, because this is really an interesting idea to me. I would be very, very interested to see what you guys think about this. So shoot me a message, leave comments, whatever. Comments would actually be best, get kind of an open discussion going on, hopefully. Because I think that there's a lot of growth that can take place through these kinds of mindset shifts, through these shifts of how you view yourself, how you identify yourself. And I think that it's possible to gain a lot of ground in this battle through that. So, let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm right, if, maybe there's a better way to look at this. Then, like I said, just thinking out loud here, trying to work all this out in my head and sharing that with you guys along the way. But anyway, that's it for now. So, if it's really something you don't do, the takeaway here is if if watching pornography is genuinely something that you do not do and that you never plan on doing in the future, it's better to talk to yourself in those terms. It's better to think of yourself in terms of somebody who doesn't watch porn rather than somebody who just hasn't watched porn for a certain amount of time. Okay? There it is. So, like I said, let me know what you think. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. I will talk to you later.